let me give y'all some education so that you all can understand why I was talking about fighters not getting paid their just due and the fair market value. I'm gonna give you an example so y'all can understand where I'm going with this. This is not to put nobody's name out there. I'm still protecting the integrity of the business, but I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Now, I was advising and representing a professional boxer. True story. A promoter offered my client at the time a contract. I reviewed the contract. I evaluated the contract thoroughly. The contract is basically the standard contract in business that have not changed. That's a fact. Now, because I know that already, I went back to the promoter to negotiate on the fighter's behalf, my client at the time. I told the promoter, if you want my fighter to fight under your promotional banner for 3 years, which is standard in boxing, and or when the boxer wins a state title, regional title, and or world title, the contract automatically extends. If you want my fighter to be signed under these conditions and terms of this contract, according to economics and the fair market value, you're going to have to change the language and the numbers. The promoter asked me, Marty, why? No, sorry. He didn't say Marty. He said Martel. Why? I said for this very reason. Because the numbers we see in this contract are for today. And those numbers will remain the same. Ask any boxer, they'll tell you what I'm talking about is true. Those numbers that are represented as compensation for these fighters, particularly my client at the time, is going to stay the same year after year that this fighter, my client at the time, was signed to these conditions. The problem with that is in 2 years, the price of eggs are going to increase. In 3 years, the price of fuel is going to increase. There is no cost of living allowance or increase. So if you want a fighter to get paid X amount of dollars, while the economics is evolving around this fighter, but you still want to pay the fighter the same amount that he or she was getting paid 3 years ago, there's a problem with that. And of course, at that time, the promoter did not want to revise the language or the numbers in the contract. And Rick Glazer knows that's exactly where I was going. When we talk about the fair market value, a good advisor, a good manager studies economics and the fair market value. You can't pay my fighter X amount of dollars in 2024 that you pay another fighter under your promotional banner 8 years ago. Where they do that at? You got fighters right now fighting 8-round fights, making X amount of dollars. I'm not going to say the number. As if they were 6-round fighters. This is facts. Can't nobody refute what I'm saying. And if they do, they better come with a real contract to refute what I'm saying. I got in this business, like I just told Rick, to protect the interests of all professional boxers. So when somebody tells me fighters are getting overpaid, what do you think they're supposed to get paid then? If they're getting overpaid, what do you think they should get paid? Because it's surely not the fair market value according to the contracts that's standard around this business. We got to be fair to all fighters. It don't make no difference what their record is. And that's why I got in this business. And Rick Glazer or nobody else is going to sit up here and undermine the compensation for fighters who's getting punched in the face, who's sacrificing their time. Let me tell y'all something real quick, because he got me hot now. You have local fighters, regional fighters, even fighters that don't have a world championship title around their waist. That's decorated amateurs that got winning records right now as we speak that you see on TV, and they got a second job somewhere. Let's talk about it. They work somewhere else, which reduces their time in the gym to train. Let's talk about it. I'm talking about fighters you see on TV. If the language was right, if the numbers were favorable, not to the promoters, but to the fighters, maybe they would have more time to work on their craft, because they're not working at UPS. They're not working at this job. They're not working over there, laboring over there at a job, because they're trying to make ends meet and overcompensate. You understand what I'm talking about? That's why I got in this business. And Rick Glazer knew exactly where I was going. Chill, Jamal. You in the chat talking about apologize to Crawford. Apologize to Crawford for what? I'm the one that told Bud Crawford in December of 2020 that if Bob Arum is standing in the way for you to get compensated, the fair market value, don't resign with him. And guess what happened a year later when his contract was up? He did not resign with them. He did not resign with them. I'm not saying he listened to me. My point is, we know what time it is. Let me put this right up here so you can understand that I'm not just no jack-laid manager. I know what I'm talking about. You don't have to take my word for it. Take the word from a manager who has managed and represented a Hall of Fame 4-time world champion. Rachel Donaire, who's in the chat, is on her screen. Look at what's on your screen. What did she tell y'all? You ain't got to take my word for it. I'm going to read it out loud, Rachel. I need my glasses. Salute to you, Rachel. I appreciate you. I didn't even know you was here, Rachel. No, Nito used to be paid $100 a round. Facts. Facts. I'm not mad at promoters making money. Listen, ain't nobody in the business to lose money now. What I'm saying is pay the fighters a little bit more. These fighters got kids, they got bills, they got families. And guess what? When the fighter's contract is not right, guess who got to pay for their expenses? Guess who got to pay for their training expenses? Guess who has to pay for their travel? Let's talk about it. You've guessed it, the managers. Huh? Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? The managers. So what I'm saying is, if the manager got to lose money, if the fighter can't make the money according to the fair market value in our economic system, then there's only one person at the table making money. Where they do that at? Everybody's supposed to win in business and everybody's supposed to lose in business. It's called compromise. That's all I'm saying.